All right, man. Here we go. Day 33. Found me a little area to get this recording in because when I get back to my hotel room, I'm going to bed. I'm out here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Just DJ the show with my boy ADB. Did my Thug Thizzle. Now I'm out here documenting my day 33 of my journey from felon to phenomenal, but also appreciate, the people who check out the videos and comment and keep me engaged and supported throughout this process, because it is a commitment, it's a challenge, and I'm learning new things about myself. So shout out to a young lady by the name of your favorite PO. Not my favorite PO, but your favorite PO. That's just her tag name, social media name. But she asked me if I could talk about the stigmas of being a felon. And just because I don't know, I know everything type stuff, but I do like to be right, we gonna first define stigma. By definition, stigma is a mark of disgrace associated with a particular circumstance, quality, or person. An example would be the stigma of having gone to prison will always be with me. That's in the dictionary. That's rough. But I want to talk about specifically the stigma that comes with being a felon. I believe that there are two types of stigmas. One is going to be the external stigma. The external stigma has a lot to do with people's perception and the experience or the past, your past that they have to go off of. So sometimes we get upset and discouraged and frustrated because no one will give us a chance, but we come directly out of the situation, fresh out of the situation, with that being the last thing that we have done. And it's like we have to take responsibility and ownership and understand that your past precedes you. Like, that is technically who you are right now. You have to show somebody differently. So with that being the case, people already have their own negative perceptions and ideas of people who commit crimes, believing that some people do it just out of pure malice, just to be harmful and hurtful, and not understanding, or how they say taking each case into consideration, but grouping people in and saying you all are like this. So it's just negative ideas and perceptions that causes harm. It causes harm to the people who think that way, and it causes harm to us who are trying to re-enter society, and makes it hard for us to get second chances. Now, the internal stigma, I believe, is a result of the impact of having gone through the process, especially those of us who spend time incarcerated and things like that. You kind of lose your sense of self-worth and self-dignity because of what you go through in the prison system, how you lose your privacy and how you're treated kind of less than a human, and you just lose your self-worth and your self-confidence. So some people have a hard time even just putting their life back together because they're saying, what's the use? You got low self-esteem, you got low confidence, and on top of that, people already perceive you to be quote-unquote a monster or useless or not worth giving a second chance or opportunity. So it's funny, not funny like haha, but the fact that the idea of stigma, having a stigma of a felon, whether it's from the outside, the external world, or if it's from your internal self-worth struggle, it's all just thoughts. Like, there's really not much fact to back it up when you actually look at it case by case, person by person, because you have to take into account. Because when I talk about, felon to phenomenal people that I help, it's a scheme or a spectrum, because you have people who fully commit to the street life and don't feel like there's anything better. Then you have the other end where people deal with psychological and sociological issues and need medication and just can't compute. But there's a group of people that are poor decision makers, or that don't know how to get out of survival mode and get into a space of thriving and making the right decision and taking calculated risks, not taking extreme risks without counting the costs and putting themselves or their families in danger, harm, or just in lack. So the stigmas are a part of it, unfortunately, but they can be overcome. You first have to overcome your own personal internal stigmas, build up your self-confidence, your self-worth, forgive yourself. I always say, forget society, forgive yourself, and go from feeling to phenomenal. And with that, I'm going to shut up and get out of here. I got to get back in and close the show out. Peace.